Yeah, I've been feeling a little bit poorly lately, so I haven't actually been out and done any filming, so I haven't got anything ready. There's nothing on YouTube channel for you. So what I've done, because I didn't want to leave you with nothing, so what I've done is I've actually dug out some old footage that I took in 2018 during a trip to Spain. So I kind of put that together into a video of my trip to Spain in 2018. It is history on a bike because it was like 5 spots, 5 medieval places in Spain. Lovely trip, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I put them together into 3 episodes because we're a bit long for one YouTube film and one YouTube episode. So I put them together into 3 separate episodes. And this is episode number 1, and I hope you like it. Let me know, and if you do, give me a thumbs up, do the subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Cheers guys. So I had a plan, not a very complicated plan, but a plan. I was going to travel down to Portsmouth, get the ferry across to Bilbao, ride to Santo Domingo, and then ride from there to Sos del Rey, and then ride from there to Lerma, then to Avila, and then across to Santillano up on the north coast, and then back to Bilbao. These were 5 medieval sites that I wanted to visit. This was 2018, didn't have a Mighty V-Strom. What I did have though was my 2014 Harley-Davidson Street Glide. She'd been to Spain before, so she knew the way. And the way was down the A34, filtering for quite a lot of it. But eventually we got to Portsmouth Ferry Terminal. I knew the way, like I say, I'd been here before. Every year for the last 5 years I'd been here. But the trouble is, every time I arrived at the ferry terminal, something had changed. Just a little bit, just enough to keep you on your toes, just enough so you didn't get too complacent. These guys in high vis, they really do know their stuff. Yeah, well, I guess they should do. They would do it every day. So all you got to do is just follow their instructions. This guy says go down there, so you go down there. I like the way he stopped me until the other guy was totally off the ramp. I've seen some carnage down here through the years. But to be honest, this is where my holiday starts. Finished with the UK motorway system, finished with the UK roads and the UK weather, hopefully, and just turn around here, follow the guys in high vis, get the bike parked up, and as I say, this here, this now, this is where my holiday starts. So what do? Okay, pop and have a beer, then onto the deck, watch the sunset, hit the sack, ready for the next day. The next morning, the guys in high vis set you safely upon your way. First day, first ride in Spain. And the first ride is from Bilbao down to Santo Domingo de la Calzada. That's the plan. Yeah, as I say, I've been to Bilbao a few times, and for the last couple of times I've met this guy. Not actually met him to speak to, but we always threw each other the heavy metal horns, stick our tongues out, and away we go. These guys, yeah, really polite, really professional, really quick. They'll get you on your way quickly. And there you are, through the gates, in Spain, holidays. To get from Bilbao further south, you've actually got to go uphill first. You can see by this terrain map here, you've got to go up through the hills, through the mountains, and then you drop down the other side onto the plains. These hills are lovely to ride, lovely switchbacks, beautiful smell of pines and the cold, it's lovely. I'm in town, Santo Domingo de la Calzada. I need to find my hotel. For this trip I've actually booked Parados. A couple of reasons for this. One is that I actually do have an Amigo card, which is like a loyalty card. I get special offers and reduced rates and such like. And the other thing is the Parados, they're government owned, and they're either built in really wonderful locations, or they've taken over some old buildings. And this parador here, in fact all of the paradors on this trip are in old buildings. This parador in Santo Domingo is the old hospital. Santo Domingo has been a major stop for pilgrims on the Camino de Santiago since the 12th century, since the hospital was built. Riding through these narrow medieval streets, on the left hand side here you can see a square. In the square you can see that lady sitting on a stage that we were building. More of that later. So yeah, through these lovely medieval streets, past the cafes and the bars. The sandstone building to the right, that's the cathedral. That building in front, that is the old hospital, which is now the Parador. That's my hotel for the night. Park up the street glide, unpack the bags, and let's go exploring. The town takes its name after Saint Dominic. The name actually literally means Saint Dominic of the Road, and he was a guy who improved the route to Santiago in the Middle Ages, building the hospitals and roads and bridges. There's loads to see, including this artwork. I'm not quite sure what it's all supposed to be about, but they seem to like it. This is the stage we saw being built earlier. Yep, it looked like I wasn't the only clown in town that day. After a great day of exploring and riding, I had a nice cool drink and an early night ready for the next day. After breakfast the next morning, we start riding again through these lovely little medieval streets. Plan today is to ride from Santo Domingo across to Sos del Rey. Me and my good lady were in Pamplona last year on the street glide, so I probably won't be popping in there this year. When I'm riding away from places on my trips to Spain, I have a bit of a habit. What I tend to do is when I come to a stop sign, getting onto a main road, I do stop. I take a couple of seconds just to gather my thoughts, just to remember where I am and what I'm doing. I do know of a couple of people who have got into a bit of trouble just riding away on automatic pilot and taking things for granted. For one thing, you drive on the right over here. So now we say goodbye to Santo Domingo de Calzada and we head east towards Sos del Rey Católico. Spanish names with a Geordie pronunciation. Yeah, there's novelty for you. I really enjoy riding through Spain. The scenery is wonderful. You just look at those mountains in the background and that church that stands out in front of it. Absolutely beautiful. So I do try and stay on the back roads, just riding through these little towns and little villages. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. So like I say, I do keep on the back roads. I tend to keep away from the major roads, the A roads, and I especially try and keep away from the motorways when I can. But quite often some of these back roads, the motorways have been built in pretty much the same area and following the same routes, so you tend to find yourself occasionally riding on a back road with the motorway next to you, like this is on the left hand side here. So yeah, I've got a motorway there and I'm just sitting here quietly on the back road. I like this because it just means that I can do pretty much what I want. When I want, I can stop and pull over for a break, put my feet up, stretch my legs, have a drink of water, you know, just chill really. And because the route that I follow is just pretty general, it means that when I come to a roundabout like this, and it's signposted if you go to the left or you go straight ahead, you go to a motorway, so left, straight ahead, no, I'll go right and stay on the back roads. One similarity between riding a motorcycle in Northumberland and in Spain is the agricultural detritus you ride through. You can see to the right here that the entrances to the fields aren't gated and there's no ditches there either, so any runoff from the fields just runs onto the road. Luckily enough today it's quite dry, so it's more dusty than muddy, but it can be a bit of a wake-up call. Also, just a heads up, if you've not been riding in Spain before, the white paintwork, the white lines on the roads are pretty slippy when they're wet and even pretty slippy when they're dry. So yeah, just something to be aware of. And that dry dust, that kind of got in my throat a little bit. So this is a nice little town, so I stopped here for a coffee and a water and a bit of a chat. And I'm pleased I did get some water at that last stop, because look at this weather, look how beautiful it is. Lovely sweeping bends, lovely sunshine. Oh man, I'm having a ball. And if you have a look up to the right there on the top of that hill, you can actually see Sos del Rio Católico, our next stop.